Today we're making one of my favorite dishes, spicy vodka rigatoni with chicken cutlets. It looks like a lot of ingredients, but it's very easy. Two components of this dish: you're making your chicken cutlets, you can keep them warm in the oven, and then you're making your sauce for your pasta. So I have 1 pound of thin sliced chicken cutlets. There's probably 100 videos I've done of just filleting a chicken breast, pounding it out. If you need help, you can watch that. You'll save a little bit of money if you buy chicken breasts. You'll save time if you buy the thin sliced already. And these are just in the fridge overnight, so it dries them out nicely for frying. We're going to just make a simple egg wash that starts with flour, then we dip in egg, then we put our chicken into the breadcrumbs, and then we're gonna fry them in olive oil. We'll also mix a little bit of cheese, 1/4 cup of Pecorino Romano, and a little bit of parsley into the breadcrumb mixture too, for when we fry them up. For the sauce, it has 2 28-ounce cans of plum tomatoes. So we're gonna have a little bit extra sauce here, which I like, and you got the chicken, so you put a lot of the extra sauce on top of the chicken. Nothing wrong with having a little bit of extra sauce instead of trying to thread the needle to get the exact amount of sauce. 1 medium onion that is diced, 5 cloves of garlic that have been minced. We have more pecorino for the sauce at the end, another 1/4 cup. I have 1/3 cup of dry white wine and 1/3 cup of vodka because we're making vodka sauce. I always like to add white wine to my vodka sauce. It makes it taste better. It gives it more of an acidic tang. It has a better taste than just straight vodka. 1 cup of heavy cream. What makes it spicy is Calabrian chili paste. So I have 1 tablespoon to start. I'll probably add more to mine. I probably might add 3 tablespoons, but you got to do that to taste. And then we have 2 tablespoons of butter. So that's pretty much everything. Olive oil we'll need, and let's do the chicken. All right, so I have everything set up from left to right with my chicken, flour, egg, breadcrumb mixture, and then I have a parchment paper lined baking sheet. So we're only doing 1 pound of cutlets, so it's very easy. But most people don't make 1 pound of cutlets. They make 10 pounds of cutlets, okay? That's like, or 5 pounds. I rarely ever do 1 pound of cutlets, but we're making this recipe for 4 people today. I just put in a little bit of that parsley, and I put in that 1/4 cup of pecorino, grated Pecorino Romano, and I'm just gonna mix it into my breadcrumb mixture. Okay, try to get it well incorporated. These are already seasoned breadcrumbs. We're putting a little bit more seasoning in there with the cheese and the parsley. Okay, and I'm just gonna season the chicken up with salt and pepper. You can just do one side. It's thin enough that it's fine. So I'm gonna grab 1 piece of the chicken into the flour. Actually, I'll set up 2 at a time here. Okay, shake off the excess into the egg. Get it coated on both sides. Just in the beginning, it's okay here, but you're gonna have to shake this a little bit. And just let the egg drip off here. Okay, and then right into the breadcrumbs. Just give it a little shake. Shake again so you're getting everything evenly back on the bottom there. And then just put it there like this. And you can just go in like that for good measure. Okay, shake that off. And then just put it right on the parchment paper. Okay, and then just repeat for the remaining ones. All right, so we're gonna shallow fry these cutlets. Here are the cutlets. Okay, they're set up nice and easy with parchment paper like this. I have a thin bit of oil here, maybe 1/8 of an inch, so we're gonna very much shallow fry them. 5 little cutlets like that will be plenty. If you were doing 5 pounds, I would start with a good amount more oil because the oil collects on the chicken cutlets, and then what'll happen is when you don't have enough, you'll have to add more. You'll have to wait for your pan to get hot enough again. This is just a 12-inch pan, and we're gonna let it get up to about 370 degrees Fahrenheit, 380. Once you put in a couple, it'll drop the temperature and you'll be good for frying. That's about medium heat on this burner. It'll take about 4 or 5 minutes. Okay, so my oil is good. Just when you put it in, just make sure you're putting it away from you so you don't splash yourself. Okay, just like that, away from you. And these are so thin, they'll take about 2 minutes per side. And if you're worried, you could pull them out. When you pull them out, you just cut one open, or you could just use an instant read thermometer, but it's easier just to cut one open because they're so thin. And you can just have a little wire rack so they can drain, or you can put them on paper towel lined plate, just to blot them after they come out. So that's been 3 minutes. Okay, just turn them over, looking nice. And just another 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes on the other side. Heat might be a little high, but it's okay. Okay, so this is the last 2. Just pop them off into over here. I switched to a fork. It's a lot easier than using those tongs that won't get underneath the chicken. Okay, turn off your burner. And there are our chicken cutlets. You can put these in the oven at 170, or the sauce is very quick. You could just kind of lightly tent with foil, but they might not be as crispy then. They're not gonna be crispy anyway. You're gonna be smothering them in the vodka sauce, right? So if you enjoy pasta recipes, and I'm sure you do, I wanna let you know about our new cookbook, Sip and Feast Family Favorites. Pasta on the cover right there. This is probably the pasta short rib ragu that made our channel discovered, and that might be the first video you ever saw by us. In this book, you will find many beautiful pasta recipes, but you will also find recipes for all the other categories. US customary and metric are included for each recipe. Right above me is the link. You can buy it from Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and other retailers. Over here is the QR code. If you're watching on TV, just use your phone, snap that code, you'll go right to the link. It's pinned in the comments as well, and it's in the description. If you don't like cookbooks, you just like watching our videos, buy it for a friend or family who does. Thanks. Okay, so we're gonna make the sauce. I have a 4-quart pan right here that will do the job for our 2 cans of tomatoes. A little bit less than medium heat. Add some olive oil in there, just about 4 tablespoons, just kind of coat the bottom. And you can get your water boiling now because everything comes together quickly. Okay, that's the onion. That is 1 medium onion that has been diced. Pinch of salt. So I have a can of Cento, San Marzano, and Bianco di Napoli something, okay? There's a lot of basil in the Bianco, but you can leave it or take it out. And I always like to show the 2 different brands. Like, there's a lot of liquid in there, and then in the Cento one, they're thicker. I'm going to, because I'm making vodka sauce tonight, that with this one, I just prefer it to be smooth. So I'm gonna blend these, like, I'll just use an immersion blender. It's easier than using my regular blender. Okay, and then just pulse it. Now, you know, people are like, you're not supposed to do this, you're gonna put air into them. Well, it doesn't really matter. You're gonna put air into, vodka sauce always looks like it has air put into it because of the color of it. But, you know, if you want something with a lot of texture, you can also just hand break them, which, you know, you've seen me do plenty of times. But if you just go like a couple pulses, you'll be fine. My onions are starting to get a little golden. I don't want that. I want them just to be soft. All right, so I'm turning on the heat. If that happens, you could also just lift your pan off the heat, or even add a touch of water, like a splash. All right, they're okay. All right, so I just want to let these get soft, about 5-6 minutes. All right, so that's pretty good on the onions. And then that's 5 cloves of garlic that have been minced, or my attempt at a mince, prepping it last night. I always prep everything for these videos the night before. All right, so let's let that garlic cook in there until it gets nice and fragrant, about 2 minutes. All right, that's getting nice, smelling good. And I'm already looking at this. I know I'm gonna want it spicier. So this is that original tablespoon of the Calabrian. Right when you put this in here, because there's some water in there, it's gonna start splattering. It always does. I'm gonna put in another tablespoon. Another tablespoon of that. All right, so we're just gonna cook it in there for 20 seconds. That's good enough. And we'll just put in the white wine and the vodka. Okay, that's 1/3 cup of each, so 2/3 total. If you wanna just use all vodka, I would just use 2/3 cup. Okay, just turn it up. It's gonna let that cook out the strong alcohol for a second, and then we'll add in our tomatoes. So at this time, you can start pretty much boiling your pasta because the sauce is gonna be done in 10 minutes. And whenever you get these at restaurants, even probably the famous Carbone, they have a huge vat of it in the back that they just get an order and they just dump it on there, and then they bring it out to your table and charge you $55 or whatever they charge for it. Here are those tomatoes. I put a little bit of water, about 1/2 cup, into the 2 cans. Okay, and then just to clean out the cans. And I'll just pour that in there too.
Spicy Rigatoni vodka is $34.
$34, okay, I stand corrected. All right, that's not, you know what, that's not bad. It's not bad. For the city, that's not bad. I want to bring this up to a lively simmer, so I got my heat pretty high. It's gonna start splattering soon. If you know your history of Italian-American cooking, Calabrian chili paste was not even on the map about 12 years ago. Cherry peppers have been a mainstay in this part of the country for over 100 years. I mean, like, my grandparents grew them, you know, like they would pickle them themselves, and from just the Calabrian chilies got popular, and then they just took off here. But I still prefer cherry peppers more. But that being said, I wouldn't put cherry peppers in this. It wouldn't go. Right, Tara? What do you think about that? It wouldn't, right? It wouldn't go.
Yeah, probably wouldn't.
Yeah. All right, so this is coming up nicely. Making a mess. All right, so that's going aggressively. We'll give it another minute. And I'm gonna cook my pasta to 1 minute less than al dente. It goes without saying I'm cooking it in salted water, but not salted like the sea. You will destroy your food if you do that. Okay, I don't know who came up with that. If you know who came up with that, I would love to know. I think people, if they take it literally, will be like, what is the salt level of the sea? And then that would be equivalent to 9 tablespoons per gallon, or 10. So you would destroy it. I'm letting this go to low. And that's why I always say make extra sauce. Like, you're actually just acting like a restaurant then, because when you tell them, like, there's not enough sauce here, I need more sauce, they bring it out to you immediately. And it's good for just to have extra. Somebody wants more in their chicken, somebody has a loaf of bread, they can do that. All right, so we're on pretty much low heat, and that's a cup of cream. All right, we're gonna let this come together, then we're gonna taste it. We're gonna make sure it's spicy enough, that it has enough salt. And you can also put a lot of basil in here, which is nice. Just get it all incorporated and just let it come up to like a gentle simmer. Little secret too about restaurants, which I don't really talk about, but I have friends who own a couple of them, and the amount of things that you don't know that's in your food to extend it, like lard, butter, cooking lard, like what is it, like kale gold, that goes into sauce and stuff, makes it sleeker. Lots of butter. Like, a lot of recipes I'll cook with olive oil, but a lot of places will just do this straight with butter. And butter it does have a better taste. Because nobody's going to a restaurant and asking for the nutrition information of what they're eating. All right, I'm gonna just let that keep going. Okay, so that's good. It's like simmering very gently, which is what I want. Let's just taste it. That's really good. I'm gonna put a touch of salt in. I'm not gonna put so much in because I'm putting in a 1/4 cup of pecorino at the end. Maybe a touch more. And honestly, I want it spicier than this, so I'm basically on to almost my 3rd tablespoon. But your mileage is gonna be very different than mine. You can handle a lot of heat in these dishes because you have cream in it. So the cream and the cheese mitigate it, kind of like lessens it. All right, that is nice. Okay, so what I'm gonna do here, my pasta's almost done. I don't need anywhere near this amount of sauce. I'm gonna pull a bunch of it out. We're gonna finish the pasta in the remaining bit. And don't worry, even if you take out too much, you just add back whatever you need.
20 seconds on the pasta.
20 seconds, I'll check it.
Yeah.
I normally just check like a little bit of it, because it's like I don't need to like be testing pasta like every time with a huge piece. Oh, it's way hard. See, you gotta go by yourself and not the bad directions. This happens a lot, I've been noticing. It needs another like 3 minutes. As I'm waiting for this pasta, you can just take your chicken, and I just put my chicken pieces in a 170-degree oven to keep them warm. And I just like to slice like pieces like this for it. Here's our sauce. Add the pasta in there. Now, it's still cook it to 1 minute less than al dente. This is probably a little bit more than that. You could drain it well. If you do drain it, use a colander. Just save a little bit of your pasta water. You might need it. This sauce is fairly loose, so you're probably not going to. All right, I'm just gonna cook this together with the vodka sauce and just start tasting it after about a minute. And right when it gets to al dente, you can pull it off the heat. And then I'm just going to mix in 2 tablespoons of butter. Just cut it up into 4 pieces. Okay, and then a 1/4 cup of grated Pecorino Romano cheese. You could also put Parmesan in there too if you like. That heat, the residual heat's gonna melt the butter and the cheese together right here. So I'm just gonna plate it up like this. Okay, some chicken. Okay, I just mixed a little bit more of that sauce into the pan here. And then a little bit of parsley. All right, Tara, you just watched me make spicy vodka rigatoni.
Yeah.
Very easy to make, right? Stuff like this?
Yeah. Easy to make and easy to eat.
Easy to eat, yes. So I'm just gonna give you a little bit now, because I know that's all you want, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's good. These are some big noodles you got here.
Big pasta.
Yeah.
And it is,
Pacari.
yeah, that you can always tell because it kind of always flattens out like that at the end. Versus rigatoni kind of maintains the oval. Spicy enough, or would you like it spicier?
I mean, I could go for it spicier, but...
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. It could be spicier. Good chicken cutlet.
Oh, delicious.
Easy food to make. It don't, you know, if you think this is looked difficult, it's super easy. Once you get the hang of knowing how to do a cutlet, you can make so many recipes with it, like regular chicken recipes, but yeah, nothing stops you from adding chicken to something like this or even another type of sauce.
So this is amazing. It's like really, really comforting. I just could just keep eating it. The one thing that I think I would add, and the only reason I'm saying this is because, do you remember when we went to that restaurant for my friend's birthday and they served something similar? Do you remember what they put on it?
I wanted to do that for this video.
Okay. They put like a big ball of burrata on it.
Yeah.
And you could just break it open and it would,
It's got to be piping hot if you're going to do it that way, and this is.
Yeah.
You got to like right to the table because then you're putting on a huge cold piece of cheese.
Yeah.
Into it.
But that I think kind of took it over the top. So I think this is like excellent as it is, but I'm going to give it a 9.5. If it had the burrata, it would get a 10.
I've been getting better ratings from Tara lately, and that is not, to change the channel in any way. It's just James has wrestling this time of year, so it's like Tara's gonna go get him now, but then he'll come home and shower and homework. It's more difficult during the year, which I'm sure you understand if you have kids.
For sure.
Family. We appreciate you understanding, and Tara, the check is in the mail for another super solid rating.
Oh, wow, thanks. I'll be expecting it.
Yeah. No, I mean, like, you and James have different tastes. Though I would go out on a limb here, and James would have given this probably the same rating.
It's pasta. I mean, he loves pasta, so.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much. Thank you for watching, and we hope that you keep watching our videos and coming back every week because it means the world to us from the bottom of my heart. Forever.
Truth. It's the truth.
Yeah. I'm joking, but serious. We do appreciate you watching and just being here always. It's been 7 years now that we've been doing this. I think YouTube's been 6. So yeah, it's been a long time. And you've seen James go from here to here. And you've seen me go from, I used to have a black beard to now I have almost a pure gray beard. Yeah. I want to shave it. She won't let me.
No.
Won't let me.
Well, tell us if you want him to shave it.
Actually, leave that in the comments.
Yeah.
I will shave it then.
I say that's a hard no.
We'll see what they say. We'll see you next time.